a goal for Ian Matson on his Burnley debut. Oh, what a goal! Oh, what a goal from Josh Brownhill! His first goal for Burnley. The Clarets are on fire. On in turn for Cullen, looking for Brownhill again. Oh, he helps it on. Big chance here for Tala. Can he get the cross in? He can! Rodriguez doing it!
How are we all? Welcome back to Turf Moorhouse TV, and today we are going through the EFL Championship. We are going to be dissecting the teams from the 2023-24 season. So at starting of next season, we are going to see, well, I'm going to tell you where I think these teams will finish. I could get it horribly wrong. Who knows? Let us know who you think is going to be where as we go through it. Thank you very much for tuning in and showing your support. Really do appreciate it. So get your comments in, and we'll obviously get them up on screen as well. Hope you are all good. Hope everything is well with yourselves. The weekend is here. The weekend is here. I'm on Vimto. I am being good. Being good tonight. But no, hope you guys are all well, and hope you have got a feeling positive about the season coming. Obviously, 3 teams went up. Burnley, obviously my club, as champions. Sheffield United in second, and Luton via the playoffs. However, 3 teams also came up from League One. Ipswich joined the Championship this year alongside Plymouth and Darren Moore's Sheffield Wednesday. They also enter the love affair of the Championship again. It's been a few years for Ipswich. It's been quite a few years for Plymouth. And Sheffield Wednesday have had a lot of playoff drama. And they weren't without it this year, was they either? Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday had one of the greatest comebacks of EFL history. So a fantastic achievement for them to turn that around over Peterborough. But where do they sit? Everyone in the chat, as I said, get your comments in. Would really appreciate everybody's love and support. Simon's in and says Town as champions. Who knows? The rumours of Neil Warnock potentially staying on. Is lightning going to strike twice? Is he going to do right for you? Renee's in and says, hey Dan, how are you? All good here, Renee. Hope things are good with yourself. Leicester are champions. Well, who knows? You'll have to see where I have put people. Doug's in the chat as well. Hope you are well, Doug. As you can see, Doug's name has come up there on the screen, and it's got a little sign at the side because Doug is a channel member, and you guys at home can also become a channel member. It's $2.99 a month. You get put on the top of the channel. Your YouTube account will be there for everyone to see as a member of the channel. Your comments come through. You get access to a range of like different emoticons, whatever you want to call them, emojis, and it's all available for you if you want to do that. And it does show support to the channel. You can also support us with super chats, which is brilliant as well. Get involved with that. They're brilliant. I think the cheapest starts off at like 99p, something like that. But it all helps. So thank you very much. George says, hey up, Dan. Hey up to yourself, George. Hey up to yourself, Nate. How are we doing? And Doug says, is Kieran McKenna heading to Leicester? Rennie says, yes, Doug, he is. We shall see. I mean, would you be happy with that, Rennie? Would you be happy with that? Let us know in the chat. If you've not been here before, then thank you for tuning in. As I say, if you can, please do drop us a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we next go live, which we will be doing on Monday when we'll be doing the League One prediction, and then Wednesday when we'll be doing our League Two prediction of where teams will finish. Yes, I know jack shit about League One and League Two, but hey ho, we'll just go with it. It's only a prediction. It's not going to hurt anyone, apart from people in the comments. But hey ho, check us out on social media as well. We are all over that, like social whorebags. Go check us out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Here's a little video of where you can show your support to Turf Moorhouse TV. So here it is, my EFL prediction for 2023-24 season. Just a few more comments come in. Henry's in the chat, says, evening Dan and big up chat. Evening to yourself, Henry. Hope all is good with yourself. Renee says, yes, I would be happy with that, basically, if you can win more games in the Championship. Time will tell. Right, let's see where I have put your club, other clubs, and let's get this show on the road. Starting off from the bottom of the table, working our way up to the champions, or who I believe will be champions. However, someone's got to be bottom of the league. Last season it was Wigan. This season, I think it's going to be Cardiff. I think they've flirted with the relegation zone for quite some time now, and it's, you know, they've been under numerous transfer embargoes as well. Vincent Tan, not a lot of the fan base like him either. The Cardiff fan that we spoke to last season, Nathan, he said as well that he didn't think that Cardiff would survive. If anything, he would have welcomed going down, hoping that it would get Vincent Tan out of the club. But they stayed up, put a few good results together, and you know, they've been down there a few times. I don't know what's going to happen, but for me, I've gone for Cardiff rock bottom this time round. Next on the list, may get slated a little bit for this one, but Sheffield Wednesday, I just do not think they have the right characters in the squad for survival in the Championship, especially, and this is in no disrespect to Sheffield Wednesday either, I think it's just due to the calibre of teams that are in the Championship this season. You know, you've got some really big names in there in the Championship now, and it's going to be so open. Sheffield Wednesday are going to have to massively invest. Chansiri is going to have to open the checkbook. And the players they've currently got, yeah, I mean, they'll be able to do a job, but they are going to need to bring players in. They've got quite a few players of age. Barry Bannon, I think they may be re-signing Aidan Flint, who they had on loan from Stoke. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. Couple of comments coming in. Carl says, "Hi Dan, hope you're well. Can't wait for fixtures next week." Yes, you can join us here for the fixtures as well. 8:45. I'll be going live 15 minutes before the fixtures are announced, and I'll be telling you live and direct who the Clarets have in those Premier League fixtures on Thursday. So yeah, join us for that as well. Rene says, yeah, the Leicester Man City assistant manager might be Leicester manager. Fair enough. Doug says there as well, Cardiff have an unknown manager, don't they? Yeah, it was some Turkish guy who took over, who's took over there. So yeah, who knows how they will get on. But Darren Moorside with Sheffield Wednesday, by the way. You know, as you said, you can write them off at your peril. Everybody wrote them off in the playoffs, but they managed to get the job done, didn't they? They managed to get past Peterborough and also nick it late against Barnsley in that Yorkshire final. So I don't know. You know, when you get promoted, you're riding a wave. So maybe they may stay up, but they always seem to be a team that come up and come straight back down again. So that's why they finished second from bottom for me. Next on that list, the QPR. QPR, I think, are going to struggle. Gareth Ainsworth does have a major task on his hands. QPR were doing really, really well at the beginning of the season before Michael Beale jumped ship to go to Rangers. Left one Rangers for the other, and I think QPR halfway through prior to the World Cup was looking at, playoffs and trying to challenge Sheffield United for second spot. So the demise of QPR after the World Cup last season was massive. They won't want that again. But as I said, the calibre of squads in this division now, they are going to have to put up a real fight. And everyone loves an underdog story. So whether I've got these wrong or not, it's just a prediction, isn't it? But let's see what happens. Everyone's saying hi to themselves. Simon says, hey, how's it going, mate? Huddersfield Town been mentioned yet? Not just yet, mate. Not just yet. But I do think out of the three that go down, it will be QPR, QPR, Sheffield Wednesday, and Cardiff that go down. Which, as you just saw then, because I pressed the wrong button. Next on the list, just scraping safety, I am going for Hull City in 21st. Now, again, another team who started the season last season really, really well. Ozan Tufan was banging goals in for fun. And again, it just dropped off. I got slated by Hull fans last year for last year's predictions, and they were saying things like, "Oh, well, we've had a takeover. We just spent $4 million on a player." Yeah, but look at what you did at the end, towards the back end of the season. It's it's going to be a bit of a struggle, and again, it's a very, very tough, demanding league. And the teams in there that are going to try to be getting themselves out of it, I fear for Hull. I do fear for Hull, even though they are well backed. It stands for nothing. Next on that list is another team well backed. Just had a recent takeover, Birmingham, but they have flirted with relegation for a few years. I mean, how many times they've survived by the skin of their teeth is unreal. I just think even with the takeover, they've got to do something massively quick. I think the owners of Birmingham are now the richest in the Championship as well. But, time will tell. Time will tell. And another season of safety for Birmingham isn't a bad position. And obviously, as the money starts, coming in from these new owners and signings start to come through, it's not just that. Look at last season; they had Tahith Chong on loan as well. There was another lad from Manchester United there. You've got Jude Bellingham's younger brother as well, who's in there. But those loan signings that from United really helped Birmingham's survival hopes, and they're going to have to delve into the market to, in my eyes, survive again. Simon says, big shout that Wednesday down. Nice. I just don't think they'll have the right calibre of players. I don't think they'll be able to bring the right calibre of players in for the teams that are in that division. It will be really, really hard. Luke's in as well. Evening to yourself, Luke. Static as well. Hope you are well, my man. So it's been too long. It's good to see you. Hope you are well. I'm smiling. I'm taking each day as it comes, mate. But yeah, everything's all right at the moment. Everything's going good. Rene says Leicester need QPR midfielder to replace Maddison. Yeah, what Doug says, Elias Chair will be a good signing for anyone. I'd take him at Burnley in the Premier League, to be fair. I think he's class. But QPR might be selling Darks as well, which is big, because he's quite a target man, is Lyndon Darks. Next on that list, then, 19th. Simon, we're waiting for this. George, we're waiting for this. I've gone for Huddersfield. I don't think 19th is that bad a position, to be fair. And you tell me if I'm wrong, but safety is paramount. As long as you've got that as long as you're safe. I'd love for Huddersfield to do what they did against Forest, where they got get back up into the playoffs. I just think at the moment, again, it's going to be all down to recruitment. And is there going to be recruitment? All the talk of Dean Hoyle selling the club. Oh no, you sold the club, didn't you? You got that American investor in. But what happens this season? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You need an out-and-out goal scorer for me. I think you've had 2 or 3 loan players go back to their clubs as well that you would have hoped to sign permanently. But yeah, 19th, I think, is a respectable position. I did put you to win it last year, so give me some credit if I've got this one wrong. But Simon says, as long as we're still in the best league in the world, I'm happy with that, to be honest. Well, thanks, mate. I will take that. I will take that. Next on the list, then, as well as Huddersfield, in that midfield, like mid pack, I've gone for Stoke. Now, Stoke are a team that surprised me ever since coming down. They've never really looked like coming back up. And I don't know whether that's because of is it Simon Sadler? I don't know. The name Simon Sadler's just come into my head. I don't know whether that's somebody else. But yeah, let me know if I'm right with that. I don't know whether I'm thinking of somebody else. But yeah, better than last year's guest, Simon says. Static says, Dan, I'm good too and glad to hear you are well too. Welcome back to the big league again. Woohoo! I love your championship predictions every year. Keep them coming. Yeah, that's because I only get them drastically wrong and people slate me. That's why. But no, I appreciate it, fella. Really, really do. Stoke, yeah. Back to Stoke. They've had some decent players over the years, the likes of Bojan. Who were the lad they had up front from Manchester United? I forgot what he was called. Mama Biram Diouf as well. But yeah, they've not really done anything of Stoke. They've got a lot of retirees. Like Danny Bath, after when Wolves started to adapt, they've took all the has-beens on. They need a big change to Stoke. Something's got to give there. No one likes going to Stoke. I know that's that old phrase or whatever, but pardon me. I can't see Stoke tearing up any trees anytime soon. This is a big shout. Watford in 17th. This one I expect probably pelters for. But I just think, how can a club have consistency when you chop and change managers season in, season out? It's. I think it's the Sarr situation as well. They need to keep hold of massive players, and the stability isn't there for me. I think it's going to be a tough season for Watford this year. Maybe a wake-up call, like, stop doing what you're doing, because it could come back to bite you in the backside, flirting around that bottom half. So, yeah, I have gone for a bit of a bold prediction with that one, but Watford occupy and take 17th position. In 16th, I've gone for Rotherham. Matty Taylor, I don't know what it is about him as a manager, but he just seems to grind a result out, and it seems to work for him at Rotherham. They just, I don't know, they're a team that, I predicted for relegation last year. I did predict for relegation last year, and I was glad to be wrong. I'm glad to be wrong on any team I predict for that. But Rotherham in 16th, I don't think it's a bad place for them. They, again, respectable, another season in the Championship. And it's just about growth with clubs like Rotherham. They've got to just take it as it comes, season in, season out. And let's see what Matty Taylor can do. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Matty Taylor gets a move over the next 1 or 2 seasons. He is a decent young manager. And obviously it depends on how he gets on with Rotherham. But 16th for them. Preston next up in 15th. It's been a while. It's been a while since they've been up near the playoffs. As I said, this is the Championship this season coming is going to be so difficult to predict. Like I said, the amount of decent teams. You've got your Southamptons, you've had your Leicesters, your Leeds, Fleming, Borough in there, Norwich, Watford. These clubs that are, have had recent success in the Premier League, or been in the Premier League. Preston, how many years did they flirt with promotion and the playoffs? Every single year for about 6 or 7 years, and it never happened. I'm going back to the days of, Sean St. Ledger at centre back, Fleming, Brett Ormerod, and John Parkin up top. Even prior to that, Ricardo Fuller and Richard Creswell days. They were still doing it then, and they still bottled it. They were the playoff bottlers every single year. And I don't think they're going to get there again. So 15th for me for Ryan Laws Preston. 14th, I think a really strong finish for Plymouth. It is a decent Stephen Schumacher's first tenure in the Championship. I just, there's something about Plymouth that they seem to do really, really well. And depending on, whether they can keep hold of their squad. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I'm glad that I've got fans coming in saying this as well. Henry said it as well. That I totally agree. Down with Watford. We've got Peter, a Watford fan in says, "Hi Dan, I agree. Watford, one of the only teams that could be 17th or 4th. We don't know what's going to happen. It's so inconsistently inconsistent. It is madness. But yeah, Plymouth, I think with the right investment, the right squad depth, would have a decent finish. 14th isn't bad at all. I think they would happily take that. Into 13th, Bristol City. I've gone for a nice mid-table mediocrity position. I think they need to remove Nigel Pearson and, grow, basically. What happens with the likes of, some of the players that they've got there, some really good youngsters that are going to be poached this summer, whether it's now or close to deadline day. There is one or two at Bristol City that has caught the eye of potential Premier League suitors as well. So whether they reinvest it, whether they manage to keep hold of these players, 13th, I think, respectable position for Bristol. Then I've gone for Norwich in 12th. And David Wagner, when he came in halfway through last season, I thought, his first game in charge, like, wow, the game against Coventry, just back and forth with goals. And I thought, right, he's got them firing. But after that, it just went sour. It went so sour and wrong. It just, the results weren't happening. There was no constant, pattern of win. It was like win, loss, draw, loss, win, win, draw, loss. It was just so inconsistently inconsistent. And they are bringing in seasoned pros. They signed Ashley Barnes from us on a free, which is decent enough. It's decent enough for them, and I'm sure he'll fill that team with Pookie role pretty well. But is he going to be firing them to playoffs? In my opinion, no. I don't think they will. They've got a few players in Josh Sargent, Max Aarons, however you want to call him. Josh Sargent, Milo Rashika, I think, as well as another player who's just come back from a loan spell. So whether he fits into that frame or not, I do not know. But yeah, bit of mid-table mediocrity for Norwich for me, which moves me on to Sunderland. I think they did really, really well to get into the playoffs. And again, this could be one I get ridiculously wrong. Tony Mowbray put together a very, very decent side, and he had to do that. With the utmost man management skills he probably ever had to have. He had such a depleted squad, heavily injured. They had goals coming from their Scottish forward who took a really nasty injury, and where were the goals coming from after that? They managed to sign Joe Geldart on loan from Leeds. They had the likes of Amad Diallo as well on loan from Manchester United. With these players not being back at the club, these are two big hitters that were, managing to keep them afloat and get them to where they have. Can he do it again? I don't know. Tony Mowbray is a good manager, but I think, as I said, it is tough. The amount of the decent teams in the Championship, so tough to call. And I think I rethought my ideas on this Championship at least 4 or 5 times, swapping and changing teams around before I put my finals. Right, that's it. I'm not changing it no more. Renee says, Dan, VAR is officially gone. Yeah, for you in the Championship, yeah. Not in the Prem, though. We've got it back. Sabali says, you know what? Cornet's won a cup. Look at Kit Cornet and Danny Ings, 2 former Clarets winning that European Cup. Sabali, I bet you were as happy as a pig in a pigsty. what a performance. Fair play. I think the fans let you down. I will say that. I think throwing stuff on the pitch, I thought was bang out of order. But forgetting the minority, I think that I think that, to be honest, you deserved it, and I think Bowen deserves a shout in the England squad as well. Barry's in as well. He says, "I don't hope you're well, mate. We are linked with Alex Scott from Bristol City." Yeah, Alex Scott's the player I was going to mention as well when I was talking Bristol City. I couldn't think of his name off the cuff. And Simon says, "Norwich champions this season are up via playoffs." Interesting. And Henry says, "Way to go, Cyberlader, on winning the European Championship." Yeah, fantastic achievement for West Ham. Up into the top 10 then. Who makes 10th spot? Carlos Corberan's West Brom do. Remarkable achievement. Again, absolutely remarkable achievement. He's gone in there and turned them from a team that looked destined for relegation under Steve Bruce into a team that wasn't really that far off playoff hopefuls. When Steve Bruce made these signings of Jed Wallace from Millwall, who was, their main player, and the likes of John Swift from Reading, two players that orchestrated a midfield, and they wasn't really doing it under Steve Bruce. But yeah, it's not. They weren't doing great. I think under Carlos Corberan, he'll get them so disciplined, so on the straight and narrow. But as I said, this division is way too strong this year coming, and 10th is a good enough position for West Brom. Next up, then. See, I've been fair. Do you know what? When I was making these edits, I even thought, do I put one with like a horse head in the middle, and do I edit the badge up and stuff? But no, I thought I've been fair to our rivals, Blackburn. I think again they will just miss out on the playoffs. Nobody knows what's happening with the manager at the moment. John Dalton Masson is linked with the Leicester job. He's probably linked with another 2 or 3 jobs as well. But again, they've lost Brereton Diaz. They've lost the likes of Bradley Dack. They are going to have to invest money. They have lost Brereton Diaz for nothing. Diddly squat, zilch, not a penny. So it's not like they can even go, "Oh, brilliant, we've got 20 odd million for him. Let's spend that now." This is a guy who's now gone on a free. Not sure where he'll end up. Who cares? But, 9th position, I thought I've been fair to the inbreds down the M65 with that. I'm sure they'll be fair with me. 9th isn't bad. 8th, then I've gone for Swansea. Now, again, and this was one of the teams I had at one point in 14th. I had in, I think, 11th, and then I've had them as 8th. But they made a really late push at the back end of last year, and it all hangs on whether they can keep hold of Russell Martin. Russell Martin is a major key into how Swansea, stick together, and he needs to stay there and keep building that club. He's got rid of some of the younger players now. Joe Latabaudier has gone left on a free. I think he's linked with a move to Luton, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure, but he's left. Michael Obafemi's loan to Burnley has now been made permanent as well. So they're going to have to bring in 1 or 2 players as well. Hopefully they'll be able to find the form of Joe Pirro again, and his goals hopefully will fire them into a top 10 finish. Into 7th, again, Millwall. I've got them just outside of the playoff pack, just outside of it. And it could go either way with this team and the team in 6th for me. Millwall have been brilliant for the last few years. They've managed to get to where they have been flirting around, doing what Preston did, sort of flirting around that top 6, top 10 But they did narrowly miss out on the final day, which was a shame for them. But, will they want to put that heartache behind them, use that heartache to try and push themselves on to the next level? They've seen that little Luton can do it, so why can't Millwall? Who knows? But for me, I have just gone for just outside of the playoffs. Barry says, think you're right on the Baggies. They have a lot of problems going on. Sid says, Dan, I have an honest question. How comes Blackburn average around 14k home fans half full? Their form, their fans and stuff are pathetic. I've seen some of the games or highlights back on that Championship highlights, and it's shocking. It is shocking. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's a stance against the owners or what. I haven't a clue. They only turned up when obviously we were playing Burnley, and half of them didn't really want to turn up because if we did win, we won the league at their place, which we did. But still, I couldn't really answer that with a honest answer, other than just that they've got a poor. It's poor from them. Like I say, I don't know whether it's down to what goes on with the Venkis and all the ownership going on. Into the playoffs then. Into the playoffs. Who just makes it in? Southampton. I think they will struggle, but they will just make it in over Millwall. They're going to have to sell a few players as well now. Coming down is going to bite them in the backside. We all know Southampton had their financial troubles quite a few seasons back when they were languishing in League One. The days when they had, and Ricky Lambert just emerging. They had Inigo Idiarquez, a young Morgan Schneiderlin, Adam Lallana. They did have a pretty decent squad with some of the players that came through. But now they're going to have to get rid of quite a few there. Che Adams, Nathan Teller is linked with coming back to Burnley, and fingers crossed we can strike up a deal for him. But we don't know what's happening on the manager front with Southampton as well. Like I said earlier with Russell Martin, he's one of the names linked with the Southampton job. And, depending on what happens, we want to know where we stand on Nathan Teller. So that's a TBC, but I think Southampton will be all right. They'll get in the playoffs, but it'll be a late push. I think they'll underestimate the Championship quite a bit. And, I think 6th place is... Doug mentioned that as well. Doug's mentioned it. I was just about to mention it as well. 52 million for James Ward-Prowse. I mean, this is a question to every one of you. Is James Ward-Prowse worth 52 million? Please put your honest answer in. Is he worth 52 million? If not, how much would you be willing, if you had the money and you was at a club wanting him? How much would you want for him? Sasid says, thanks, Dan. I like Southampton. Their fans were very respectful to me. You said that with a lot of feeling, Dan, with Rovers. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But yeah, exactly, Renee. You want 50 million for Maddison, but they want 52 for James Ward-Prowse. It just doesn't make sense. The only problem is with James Ward-Prowse is it's his free kick ability and the fact that he's the man that orchestrates it all at Southampton. Without him, they're just, nothing. The reason why they've probably survived for God knows how many years. But, Doug says it here. No, defo not. I would say between 20 to 30 mil. Well, Kate says, can't really hang around because I have shiz to do. But hey, hope everyone is well and enjoys a sunny weekend. There you go. The missus is in, and she's all fine and dandy. I'll get back to their messages, Henry, soon. My Insta inbox is playing up, so I will get back to them very soon. It's I don't know what it is. Every time I click it, my Instagram crashes. I don't know what's happening. Renee says, I would say 30 million for James Ward-Prowse. Yeah, that's it. Doug said it as well, 20 to 30 million. Probably about average, isn't it? Up into 5th then. This is the surprise. I've gone for a surprise package. I have gone for Ipswich. Out of the 3 playoff teams, I really, really like what that Ipswich manager is doing. I think, obviously, they played Burnley twice last season. And it's going to be great. They were great. They held us to a draw at Portman Road, and we took them back to Turf Moor in the cup. We beat them, obviously, as Turf Moor was a fortress last season. But yeah, they were phenomenal. Sometimes absolutely played us off the park, and just brilliant. I think if they can take that into the Championship this season, they will surprise a lot of teams. This is my dark horse. This is my bold prediction that I'm going for Ipswich to get into the playoffs this campaign. Doug says, have you guys done your sponsored walk yet? Not just yet. It is not. Is this Friday? No, it's this Saturday. This Saturday coming. So not tomorrow. The Saturday after. But yeah, it's the 17th. So Saturday the 17th is when we do it. And I put the link on Twitter and stuff if people want to donate to charity. The money goes straight to the charity. Don't come to me and Kate. It goes straight to the charity for Pendleside Hospice. We are doing a sponsored walk, and you visit around 17 pubs on this walk, and you literally 13 miles plus. It's knackering you up hills and all sorts. And with my dodgy legs, I need all the support I can get. So please do check it out on Twitter. Kate's been sharing it. I've been sharing it. So yeah, please do keep showing your support. And Doug massively sponsored us as well, and I can't thank him enough. Really appreciated that, Doug, as well. With everything you've got going on with the child and stuff like that, really do appreciate it. Renee says, I'm great. Thanks if we win all games in the Championship. Villa TV, how you guys doing? Says Ipswich will get 7th. See, great man's up there flirting around, which is decent enough. Up into 4th then, I've gone for Coventry. The heartache of the Championship playoffs will spur them on, I think. Mark Robbins has got a good knack of being able to, turn a frown upside down. He's been with them since the League 2 days. I reckon he can get them going again. Whether they keep hold of Schumachers, whether they keep hold of Gustavo Hamer, Ben Wilson, who was the EFL Team of the Season goalkeeper last year, they've got a really good young squad. And I'm sure even if they do lose these players, they will invest in good replacements. So I've gone for Coventry. That heartache, use it. Use that negative, turn it into a positive, get yourselves back into the playoffs. Into 3rd then, I've gone for Leeds. Leeds narrowly missing out on the top 2. And it's I think it'd be funny that, I don't know what it is with Leeds. I really don't. I think they'll struggle. I think they'll think that, we're Leeds United. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Half of the players will want out. Half the players there are already aging. So I don't know. It's a tough one. Leeds could absolutely go romp it, but I've gone for them in 3rd and having to see it out in the playoffs, which means we are down to the top 2. And I agree, Carl. I hope Leeds don't come back up. I hope if they are in the playoffs, they get knocked out by whoever's in there with them. To be honest, unless it's Blackburn, then I'd rather Leeds come up. I think he's selling. I think he's sold up, Henry. He is selling up. If I'm not sure. Yeah. Doug says there, Leeds are a funny one. Not sure what is happening there, and the owner's trying to sell up. Yeah. Going back to what I said about the Pendleside Hospice, Kate's is basically supporting local whilst helping a charity. A win these hard times. Pendleside Hospice helps people with cancer and a family of those fighting the disease. Which it does. It does. They do a lot of hospice care for people dying with cancer. They do a lot of bereavement counselling and stuff. I've been advised to speak to them after losing my dad. I'm doing this walk in memory of my dad as well. Even though it's run by Pendleside Hospice, which is a cancer charity, it's still a charity, and any charity that benefits from the work they do, they all need support. So I am doing it for my dad. So I've got more reason to do it in his name as well, because two things he liked was going for a walk, and he wouldn't turn his nose up at a pub. So quite fitting, really. On to second place then. Who do we think it is? Do we think it is Leicester, or is it going to be, well, who haven't we mentioned? I'll tell you who we haven't mentioned, Middlesbrough. Borough, for me, in second. I think, can Michael Carrick do it again? Can Michael Carrick pull it off? What he did with Borough, again, similar to what I said for West Brom. Borough did it pretty much like a bit like a Forest. Looked like they were dead and buried. Looked like Chris Wilder were going to take them down to League One. Carrick came in, took them to 4 points off Sheffield United at one point. Looked like they may have even taken second spot. I think Borough will be very unhappy with how that season ended, and will want to put that right by going full on out there. So let's see what happens. But I've gone for Borough in second, which means I have predicted Leicester to win the Championship title. Their squad is something else. I mean, even Danny Ward coming down to the Championship, Dan Iverson. I think you've got two good young keepers there as well. I say young, Danny Ward isn't anymore. But, being in the Championship may help. I mean, the likes of Jamie Vardy may get more game time because you're in the Championship. You're going to sell these big players. As I say, you've lost Soyuncu. Yeah, Madison's going to go. Tielemans is already gone. Can you keep hold of Harvey Barnes? I think whatever money you get for these players, though, the recent successes of Leicester will stand in their favour, and players will want to come to you. So on that basis, they'll come thinking, I'm going into a side here that is hopefully building for those successes again, the FA Cups, the Premier Leagues, etc. But it is Leicester I have gone for top spot. Leicester as top dogs to win the league. I'm not going to say that you're going to emulate your 102 points you did in, I think, 2013, 2014, something like that. But he's on a free, Henry. He's on a free. He's Tielemans. His contract is up, so that's it. He's off skis. Rene says, we respect you, Dan, for putting Leicester top of the league. Appreciate that. And Carl says here, going back to Carl's comment, says, if you could take any player from the Championship last season, who would it be? I know a lot of people would have said Victor Gyökeres, but I don't know, Amad Diallo, the man alone from Sunderland, was decent. Who else is there? I'll tell you who. Nathan Teller, Carl. Nathan Teller, right? Because he's not technically a Burnley player. So I will take Nathan Teller, mate. I will take Nathan Teller. Doug says Alex Scott. Alex Scott, yes, the Bristol City midfielder. He was an absolute beast. An absolute beast. And Doug says Aston Villa, I heard her after Yuri Tielemans. I think that's a bit of a... That sounds silly, but a bit of a sidestep. In terms of club level. I mean, maybe not. Villa have got Europe now. It's a good position for. Yeah, no. I think I've sort of shot Villa down a little bit there. But yeah, Villa's not a bad shout at all. But yeah, that's who I've gone for. That is the Championship predictions. Let us know your comments if you're watching this back later on. Give us your table. Let us know who you think is going to go where. As I said, you can, if you can, show your support to us. Please do drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified. We are going to be coming back with lots more content. As I say, we're going to be doing a transfer show at some point. We're hopefully going to be able to speak to ex-professionals that have obviously played for Burnley, with being a Burnley channel. We are doing obviously the Premier League fixtures on Thursday morning, 8:45 in the morning. Join us for that. We'll be live before the fixtures come out at 9 a.m. We're going to be doing all sorts. As I say, join us on Monday. Monday, we are going to be predicting League One. So I've got now, the next few days to try and figure that one out. And then I've got 2 days to figure out League Two, because we'll be back Wednesday for that, and then Thursday for the fixtures. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying. Nate says, who's coming up from the playoffs then? If I had to say anyone comes up from the playoff pack that I had, hold on, let's see, who do I have? Leeds, Cov, Ipswich, Southampton. If it is that, I'm gonna say Southampton or Coventry. Southampton or Coventry, Nate. Rene says, Bar, take care of yourself and have a good day. Barry says, all the best, Dan. Catch up with you again soon. Come on, you Clarets. Well done, Bazaar. Nate says, take care, everyone. Yeah, everyone, do take care. Have a wonderful, glorious weekend. The sun's meant to be shining. I know, potential thunderstorm Sunday, but who cares? Next week is meant to be glorious. Stay positive. Stay safe. As I said, have a brilliant weekend. And everyone, take care. Follow us on socials. If you want to become a member, you can become a member anytime. There's a join button on YouTube. You can join us. Be absolutely fantastic. But until then, take care. See you soon. Have a good weekend. And see you Monday for another one. Cheers.